Remember the words of the Stoics. The entire world is a sacred space, a temple of the gods. Take a moment to observe the sunset, the ocean, this life unfolding before you. When we pause to reflect, especially in times of hardship, it becomes clear that anxiety can creep into our lives in ways we may not expect. The global pandemic, for example, shed light on how many people carry a baseline level of anxiety, even when they aren't facing immediate stressors like flights, crucial meetings, or public speaking. This realization serves as a reminder that anxiety can often live within us, regardless of the external events unfolding around us. The Stoics, frequently seen as unshakable or immune to emotional turmoil, face their own battles with anxiety. Marcus Aurelius, one of the most revered Stoic philosophers, left behind countless notes to himself on how to confront and manage this very human experience. These personal reflections offer us a glimpse into his struggles, as well as the methods he employed to maintain inner peace amidst the chaos of life. But Marcus Aurelius was not alone. Seneca, Epictetus, and other Stoic thinkers also wrestled with similar anxieties. Their writings, rich with wisdom, provide us with enduring lessons on how to approach and navigate the inner turbulence that we all encounter from time to time. The Stoics teach us that managing anxiety is not a one-time fix, but a lifelong process, one that requires continual practice, self-reflection, and the use of practical tools. By delving into Stoic philosophy, we uncover timeless strategies for reducing and managing anxiety. These ancient teachings are as relevant today as they were centuries ago, offering us a clear path to emotional strength, resilience, and a more peaceful existence. For anyone grappling with anxiety, the Stoic methods offer invaluable insight into how to regain balance and clarity in the face of life's inevitable challenges. 1. Focus on the little things. The little things in life are far from trivial. George Washington famously said, "Many mickles make a muckle," emphasizing how small contributions can accumulate into something substantial. Zeno, the father of Stoicism, expressed a similar sentiment when he declared, "Well-being is realized by small steps, but it's no small thing." This powerful idea is also echoed by Marcus Aurelius, who wrote that our lives are shaped one action at a time, one step at a time. This process, while gradual, is uniquely ours and no one can take it away. When you feel discouraged or when the gap between where you are and where you want to be seems overwhelming, it's crucial to redirect your focus. Rather than becoming paralyzed by the magnitude of your goal, focus instead on the task right in front of you. Marcus Aurelius offers timeless advice. Concentrate like a Roman. Do this thing in front of you, as if it's the only thing that matters, as if it's the last thing you'll do in your life. By honing in on the present task, you create momentum. Each small action, when consistently repeated, compounds into meaningful progress. Washington's reminder that many mickles make a muckle speaks to the power of the incremental. Success doesn't come all at once. It's the result of steady, small steps taken day after day, action after action, insight after insight. The key is simple: start now, and the rest will follow. 2. Practice gratitude. Marcus Aurelius urges us to remember the profound privilege of simply being alive, of experiencing this very moment. Even when the world around us feels overwhelming, chaotic, or full of adversity, there is always wonder to be found within it. Life itself is a gift, a precious gift that should never be taken for granted. To become cynical, bitter, or jaded in the face of challenges is to miss the beauty of this fleeting opportunity we have to exist. Life, in all its unpredictability and imperfection, is a gift. This is why the present moment is so aptly named. It is the only moment we truly possess. Even when our current circumstances don't seem to reflect an extraordinary time in history, they remain the only time in which we are alive. That's why focusing on what we can control, our thoughts, our perceptions, and our responses, is far more empowering than fixating on external circumstances or the uncontrollable factors that surround us. When we direct our energy toward the things we can influence, our mindset, our actions, and our attitudes, we begin to fully embrace the present. By cultivating acceptance and practicing gratitude for the here and now, we open the door to happiness, regardless of what's happening outside of us. This is the path to finding peace, fulfillment, and contentment, even in a world that may often seem turbulent or uncertain. 3. Have no opinion. One of Marcus Aurelius' most powerful reminders is his simple yet profound statement: "You don't have to have an opinion about that." This wisdom offers us a liberating way to approach the world. It teaches us that we don't have to form an opinion on every event or circumstance. In fact, it's entirely possible, and often more peaceful, to simply observe without rushing to judgment or feeling the need to take a stance. There is incredible power in allowing things to exist as they are, without feeling compelled to label or evaluate them. Not every situation demands commentary, reaction, or evaluation. Some moments, some events, can simply be witnessed, acknowledged, or even ignored, without needing to categorize them as good or bad, fair or unfair. They simply are, and that's enough. By viewing the world through this lens of objective observation, we can detach from our personal biases, beliefs, and preconceived notions. This practice of non-judgment opens up space for clarity and tranquility, freeing our minds from unnecessary projections and emotional entanglements. In this way, we can approach life with a sense of peace, unburdened by the need to control or label every moment. 4. Stop caring about what people think. Marcus Aurelius highlights an essential truth about tranquility and inner peace. It comes when you stop caring about what others say, think, or do. He reminds us that true peace arises when we focus solely on our own actions, words, and intentions, rather than being preoccupied with the judgments or behaviors of others. The essence of tranquility is found in the freedom from external influence, when we are no longer distracted by the opinions or actions of those around us. When we stop allowing the noise of others to affect us, we reclaim our inner calm. Marcus teaches that serenity is achieved when we give our energy only to the things within our control, our own thoughts, actions, and responses. By freeing ourselves from the desire to control or worry about what others are doing or thinking, we create space for genuine peace to flourish. In this way, the key to lasting tranquility is simple. Focus on what you can control, yourself, and let everything else fall away. 5. Process your emotions. A Stoic is not someone who simply suppresses their emotions. That's a misunderstanding of Stoic philosophy. The Stoics didn't ignore their emotions or pretend they didn't exist. They processed them. This is why many of them, like Socrates, asked questions to explore their thoughts, and why Seneca wrote long letters to his friend Lucilius. We even have surviving letters from Marcus Aurelius, revealing his inner struggles and reflections. The Stoics weren't avoiding their emotions. They were actively engaging with them, seeking to understand and manage them. The Stoic approach to emotion is to face it head-on when it arises, to examine it carefully and thoroughly. They believed that emotions, if left unchecked or suppressed, would eventually resurface in a more destructive form. It's like charging emotions to a credit card. While it might seem manageable in the short term, the emotional debt will come due, and the interest will make it far more difficult to handle. The Stoic method isn't about shutting emotions down. It's about confronting them, understanding their origins, and working through them. The goal is not to be controlled by emotions, but also not to ignore them, as that only ensures they'll reappear later, often with even greater intensity and consequences. Rather than repressing their feelings, the Stoics sought to domesticate them. As Nassim Taleb wisely puts it, the process begins by acknowledging emotions, reflecting on them, and coming to terms with their impact. Only then can emotions be managed effectively, allowing us to respond with clarity and wisdom, rather than being swept away by their force. 6. Don't suffer imagined troubles. Seneca wisely points out that we often suffer more in our imaginations than in reality. Many of the things we dread, the worries that keep us up at night, the scenarios we play out in our minds, most of them never actually come to pass. Mark Twain captured this sentiment perfectly when he reflected on how he endured many hardships in life, most of which never truly occurred. In our minds, we often torment ourselves with an endless stream of what-ifs. We worry about what might happen, conjuring up countless possibilities, each more unsettling than the last. But the reality is that the only moment we truly have is now. We cannot control whether those imagined fears will ever become reality. What we do control is the present moment. While it's important to prepare for potential challenges and uncertainties that the future may bring, our primary responsibility lies in embracing the present. Don't waste this precious moment by fixating on hypothetical fears that are likely to remain just that, hypothetical. Focus instead on what you can do today, on what is within your control right now. The future will unfold as it will, but the present is yours to shape. 7. Choose not to be harmed. According to the Stoics, no one can truly harm you, not in the way we often imagine harm. People may hurt you, say cruel things, attack you, or cause you physical pain. But to the Stoics, harm is not an external force, it's a choice. You decide whether to perceive yourself as harmed by what happens to you. Eleanor Roosevelt's famous words resonate with this Stoic idea. No one can make you feel inferior without your consent. In the same way, the Stoics believe that our perception of harm is something we have control over. As Epictetus wisely stated, you are hurt the moment you believe yourself to be. Similarly, Marcus Aurelius taught, don't want to be harmed, don't choose to feel harmed. At the heart of Stoic philosophy is the understanding that we control our emotions, our opinions, and the narratives we create about what happens to us. The Stoics argue that choosing to feel harmed is, in itself, a form of complicity. When we decide to interpret an event as harmful, we are choosing that perspective, and in doing so, we allow ourselves to be affected by it. 8. Go for a walk. Every single day, without fail, I do one thing that's incredibly important to me, and you can probably tell by the sweat on my face. I just went on a long walk with my kids around our property. We talked, threw sticks, told stories, and simply spent time outdoors together. There's a powerful quote by Nietzsche that says, "Only ideas had when walking have any worth." And I believe that's absolutely true. Even Seneca, the great Stoic philosopher, understood the value of walking for the mind. He wisely said, "Fields that are not allowed to rest will not bear plants, and the mind will break like an anvil if not rested." These words ring especially true for me. Walking is more than just physical exercise. It's a chance for my mind to rest and reset. When I walk, I leave my phone behind. I leave my work behind. I leave my thoughts behind. It's a time to disconnect, be present, and just let my mind wander. In many ways, it's not exercise in the traditional sense, it's exercise for my mind. It's time spent with my family, on my property, outdoors, practicing gratitude and appreciation for the simple things. This is a practice I do every day, no matter where I am, whether I'm in a parking lot or on a beautiful beach. I always find time to walk. And I believe you should too. 9. Keep a journal. People often ask, what's the best way to start journaling? And the answer is simple, just start journaling. There are countless methods you can use. For me, I prefer the one-line-a-day approach. It's quick, easy, and effective. Sometimes, I use a Moleskine notebook or a gratitude journal. Other times, I turn to the daily Stoic journal. But honestly, it doesn't matter what kind of journal you use. Whether it's on your phone, a scrap of paper, or even the back of your to-do list, it all works. The key is consistency. The most important thing is that you journal every single day. Just do it. The best time to start journaling was yesterday, but the second best time is right now. So if you've been thinking about it, stop thinking and start writing. Your future self will thank you. 10. Grab the right handle. Epictetus teaches us that every situation has two handles. He explains that every experience offers us a choice. One handle will bear weight, and the other will not. Take, for example, a situation where you feel wronged by someone close to you, perhaps your brother. You could choose to view it as a betrayal, a personal injury, something that hurts you. Or you could take the other handle and say, I have only one brother. This is my brother. I'll forgive him. I'll be patient. This challenge will make us both better for having gone through it. This idea, that every situation offers two perspectives, is incredibly powerful. You can either see yourself as a victim, disempowered by your circumstances, or you can choose to see it as an opportunity for growth, as a challenge that will make you stronger, better, and more resilient. What makes Epictetus's teaching even more profound is that he's not speaking from a place of comfort or privilege like we are today. He was born a slave in Rome and spent 30 years in captivity. Yet, rather than viewing his circumstances as an insurmountable disadvantage, he saw them as an opportunity to learn and grow. He viewed his struggles as the very forces shaping him into something stronger, something capable of enduring life's harshest tests. He famously said, "You've been paired with a tough opponent, and this is what's making you Olympic-class material." That's Epictetus, recognizing the handle that would make him stronger, not weaker. So whatever challenges you face today, remember this. Every situation has two handles. Which one will you choose? The one that bears weight and strengthens you, or the one that makes you weaker?